It's a wonderful Friday morning, and you're all welcome once again to our Living in the World digital series. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where in the world you're joining us from. It's an absolute pleasure to have you all here today. My name is Estella Hildanaman, and I'm the coordinator for American Corner Abuba, and I'll be your moderator for this session. American Spaces provides access to current and reliable information about the United States through book collections, internet access, events, and activities for everyone. In today's interconnected world, our children are most exposed to the internet than ever before. While the digital world offers incredible opportunities for learning and growth, it also comes with risks that we as parents and guardians need to be aware of and prepare for as well. Statistics have shown that over 60% of children have encountered online threats, yet many parents feel unprepared to address these challenges. And that's why American Spaces is here today to empower you with the knowledge and tools to safeguard your children online. Facilitating this session is Stephen Mautodonko. He is a trained telecommunications engineer who has a good understanding of ICT. As an entrepreneur, Malta is a founder of Steve Dog Limited, a tech startup. He's an avid free and source software advocate and trainer, leading over 8 years of Software Freedom Day celebrations in Ghana. He's one of the youth coordinators for Internet Governance Forum Ghana and a member of Internet Society Chapter, Alliance for Affordable Internet. Please, during the session, please type all your comments or questions in the comment box below, and they'll be well addressed. Thank you so much for staying with us, and I will hand it over to Stephen. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Estelle, for the introduction and your kind words. So, just a minute to share my slides so that we can go into the business of today. So kindly confirm with me if you can see my screen.
Yes, please.
All right, awesome. So thank you once again. Good morning, greetings from Ghana. Good afternoon, good evening from wherever you may be connecting from. It's a great opportunity and pleasure for me to share this little knowledge, as it is, I may call it, with everybody. As simple as it is, it has actually caused great havoc to so many families, not only kids. So our topic for today, as it is we see on my screen, will be cybersecurity for parents with our children or siblings in focus, because as Estella was stating, we have over 60% of young children who have actually encountered some amount of content online. And we also know that over 60% of the entire world's population are actually the youth. So it's high time we actually empower the children through our parents, because once our parents are properly equipped, we are sure to know that we are actually winning the fight against cybersecurity issues, as it is we may have it. And before we dive a bit deeper into the conversation of the day, we are going to play a very small game. For me, the first time I was actually exposed to that security difference of how you can actually be hacked from a website, and how a website link, and not being able to identify whether the website link is accurate or correct, or whether it's from a hacker, was really mind-blowing for me. That even me, with all the level of knowledge as it is I had, the first time actually when I saw that test, I actually didn't pass. So do not be downhearted, do not be disappointed if you are not able to actually tell the difference between whatsoever it is I may show on the screen for us to see. I would want us to use our comment sections. I don't know if Estelle, you're able to help me with that. for people to be able to tell from these two websites, as it is, I have actually shared on my screen, to know what our audience are thinking, that if the website 1 or website 2, just by the numbers, just tell me which one you think is correct. If it is 1, just type 1. If it is 2, you think type 2, and then we can take it from there. So I just give about 10 to 15 seconds and see what responses as it is we may get. Then I can just move to the next slide. If you have even 2 responses, can you just share with me what's the responses we are getting? If there are any feedbacks on section.
Okay. So to our audience, so we have on our screen 1, 2 options. So you are just supposed to spot the difference. So you can put in the chat box if you can spot the difference between these 2 things that have been outlined here. Okay. People are dropping in their comments. So Delight says 1, and Billy says 2. So what difference can you spot out? You can just write it. Okay.
Quickly,
Miss Benedicta says 1 is correct. Okay.
Correct.
Okay, so let us know the difference between the 2. So what makes 1 different from 2?
Because it's the same spelling, the same website URL. Yeah.
Okay. It's the same spelling. So what makes the 2 different? Just spot the difference. I remember we played this game when we were kids. Identify the difference. Okay, so we have a lot of comments coming in. Okay, the difference is the A. Okay, someone said the difference is the A. That's from Nana Ose. He's saying the difference is the A. Yes, Malto, is it correct?
So aside him saying the difference is the A, which one would he say is from a hacker? Because one of the URLs or the website address is from a hacker, and then one is correct. And so one is the original website address of the website owner, and then one is actually a clone from a hacker. So which one would you say is the original website address? Is it option 1 or option 2?
Okay, so there we have it. So which one would you say is from a hacker? Okay, someone says the A is from a hacker. Then Aseda is saying they are written in different fonts. That's from Aseda. Yes. So yes, one person is saying that A is from the hacker. What's your take, Malto?
Thank you so much for the interaction with our audience. I'm happy for that. So this is actually our answer for today. Do not feel disappointed if you had it wrong. So actually the first answer is correct, and the option 2 is actually the one from a hacker. And I'm saying do not be disappointed in yourself, because I got it from myself some years back when I actually came or chanced across this. I decided to put this in our presentation just for us to be able to see that the cyberspace as it is we have, there are a lot of terrible things that are really happening there. And with the slightest mistake, right, you can actually find yourself in big trouble. You could actually see the option 2 and feel that, oh, it's the same. It could actually be the link to either your school portal or your bank network, and you would think that it's actually correct. But as the person spotted the difference, that the font type for the A's in the 2 websites are different, it's actually the main pain point for what it is I am demonstrating on the screen. But majority of the time, if you take a critical notice of all website addresses, we would all have the first option as it is we have as a unique font type for now. And even though they are argument to be able to see what it is they want to be able to have done in the future, anything that differs from that formatting as it is you have, it's actually wrong. So I'm going to play a short video. It's just about a minute video. And then after that minute video as well, then the real business of the day starts. So I'll be quiet.
Mark my word, AI is far more dangerous.
Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad. It's me, Ella. Well, a digital version of me, just a bit older. Amazing what technology can do these days, isn't it? All you need are a couple of pictures, like the ones you share on social media, where they can be taken and used by everybody. I know for you, these pictures are just memories, but for others, they are data. And for me, maybe the beginning of a horrible future. Future where my identity is stolen, like where I can go to prison for things that I would never do. Imagine my credit score being destroyed, Dad. Or my voice copied to scam you, Mom. I'm in trouble. I need you to send me money, please. I don't want to become a meme, humiliated by everyone at school.
Kill yourself, you fucking loser.
And I certainly don't want this. What you share online is like a digital footprint that will follow me around for the rest of my life. I'm telling you this because I know you love me and would never do anything to harm me. So please, Mom, please, Dad, protect my virtual privacy.
All right, thank you for your attention. You're watching about the minutes and some few seconds video. Me playing this video in today's presentation is also bring our mind to some of the school of thought that states that everything or anything you put online stays on the internet forever. The internet never forgets, which would be a popular school of thought. Probably you may have heard one way or the other. You may think that you may have deleted that video, that picture, that comment of yours you may have posted at one place or the other. But the truth of the matter is that whatsoever item you post on the internet today or yesterday, or what you are attempting or thinking about to post tomorrow would be there forever, at least for now, even though there's been conversations to seeing how to mitigate some of those things. But as it stands today, anything you've ever posted on the internet is actually not forgotten or cannot be deleted. So in the popular campaign, which is Stop, Think, and then Connect, which was a campaign initiated in 2009 by the ex-president Barack Obama, where he wanted to increase the awareness of some of the dangers we encounter using the internet space, and also to lay emphasis on the fact that all these responsibilities that do not lie on one person's shoulders, but it's actually a shared responsibility for all of us. In today's conversation, as we are going to have, or hear certain common words like cybersecurity, cyberspace. Is the importance of why do we need to protect ourselves on the cyberspace? And then also for me today, which is most important as well for me, will be kids that in modern day and age actually spend a lot of time on the internet. Statistics has proven that kids under 18 are actually spending an average of 8 hours on the internet daily. All right. If kids are actually exposed to these digital surfaces, they could actually come in contact with so many things you may not actually be aware of. This actually gives us basis or reason to the fact that we need to be able to protect that digital space or that cyberspace as it is we may have it for now. So that word cyberspace is anything that has to do with the internet, and internet is just basically the connecting between two different devices from either the same location or very distant or remote location. So one asks, this word we've been hammering or been hearing all this time, cybersecurity. What's the importance of cybersecurity? Would one be able to understand really what cybersecurity is today by its mere technical definitions? So I took time to be able to look at it also with the saying that goes that if you cannot explain something to a 5 or a 10-year-old, meaning you do not understand it yourself. So instead of using a very technical word, right, with two things as it is I have already talked about, which is cyberspace, to have anything to do in the internet. Now, the next keyword, which is security. If we bring our minds to security and now combining both as cybersecurity, will just be to say that cybersecurity is like locking the door off your house. Why do you want to do that? Because you want to be able to prevent people from either entering your house or being able to take certain things that may be belonging to you as your personal property. So cybersecurity is just protecting those things as it is going to be able to have and safeguarding them on the internet in very simple terms. So we use things like passwords on the cyberspace or on the internet. The password as it is we use can be equated, right, to what would call your house key as it is you have. So when you're going out of your house, you want to ensure that your house is locked or padlocked, right? It's basically the same principle as it is you may have on the internet. There are times we hear things like viruses, right? Viruses can be equated in terms of like germs as it is you may have, right? You may have germs contaminating your food, which you may not want to be able to have. One will want to be careful who they talk to, because when we're young, there were things as it is our parents would tell us, do not talk to strangers. Why the campaign by Barack Obama, which is to stop, think before you act or connect or click or whatsoever as it is you want to do, is very important to anyone who want to take his cyberspace or activities very seriously. Now that we've spoken about cyber security, once security issues or cyber issues collate or come together, that will mean that there might be things that were not done properly on the internet, right? We could say those are a criminal act, or what we would call technically a cyber criminals, right? So what are some of the things as it is we may refer to our cyber criminals? Are some of the lists that it is I've provided. The key among, to start with Ghana, right, will be software piracy, where we do not pay for genuine softwares as it is we use. We always want to probably be able to use the cracked versions of whatever solution as it is we are using. That is actually saying that you are actually one of those criminals. If you do Steam, there can be cyber stalking or credit card fraud among the right. This is actually not the exhausted list, but not to waste our time. Then we go to our next slide for the day, which is keeping kids safe online. What are the common issues as it is we may face online? All right, one will always want to be able to know, aside all the things as it is we are seeing, right? How do we keep those kids safe as it is we want to be able to have them, right? I picked 4 major ones, which we're just going to talk today. These are not, or this is not the exhausted list. The major ones or the most common ones that cut across most cyber issues that actually really occur. The first one, which is identity theft, right? Identity theft actually really happens where we share too much information online. Like in the video as it is I played, right? You notice that the lady was talking about some of the content that is being posted. So I see parents who either from birth, they start posting their the pictures of their child, you know, right from birth. So age 1 to 5 to 10. What it is you're actually doing is that you're actually building a digital footprint. And now AI or algorithms that we are having online are becoming so perfect that they are close to mimicking human generations of videos or images, where you cannot even tell the difference of which is the original video from the fake one. All those information or the digital footprints as it is you may actually really generate without even knowing can be collected as our digital points. And based on those points, one can actually steal or clone the identity of you. People graduate from school and then they are showing their certificates in their pictures. That is really scary and dangerous because one, you may have a social media profile where you've already added your date of birth, right? You have your full legal name already on the social media account. Now you've been able to go to school successfully and then graduated. Now you are taking a picture with your certificate. It is easy for one person to actually steal your identity and be able to use it to commit any crime, right? Aside that, identity can actually be stolen when your mobile devices, as it is we use, which is one device that has so much information about each individual who uses a mobile phone. I always state that from the day you bought that mobile phone from the shop, whichever shop you bought it from, and then you unboxed it and charged it, you started creating data. You've created data on the time or the first time you've ever charged the mobile device. You've created data on the exact location where the mobile device was created. And even the first thing as it is you did, whether you took a picture of item as it is you do. The mobile device actually goes everywhere with us. We do our bank transactions, we do whatsoever items as it is we want to be able to do on the mobile device. Why it becomes critical if somebody penetrates your mobile device, right? The person can actually either steal your bank details. People take pictures of their either their SNIT card or bank cards and still keep. They can actually clone some of those information and be able to use it to either perpetrate crime on your behalf. All right. There is inappropriate content as it is that is very on the rise nowadays, where kids are left with either tablets, either because they are being a bit troublesome and they want to be able to have their time with themselves. So their parents just gives them their devices where they can sit all by themselves and watch whatsoever items as it is they want to be able to watch. I had a personal experience where one time I was with one of my uncles, and before we could notice, we realized that the male organ of the my niece to say was hardened. It was interesting to see when they took the phone as it is he was using. He was actually on an adult content site, and he didn't know how it even came. He was just playing games, right? But he was either clicking just links or just following whatever pops up on the screen. And before he noticed, he was on an adult site. All right. Why parents need to take charge of most digital devices or mobile devices they give to their child. One of the things I always advise the people around me to do is that do not give your personal devices to your children. You can either buy mobile devices that are purposely for kids, right? In those instances, what it is you can do will be to either log into the devices with an age range, of the kid. If the kid is under 18, make sure that whatever account it is you are creating, if it's a Gmail account you are creating on that device, do not create the Gmail account as if though, or do not use your personal Gmail account to log into that device. What you are doing, if you use your personal email or credentials to log into the device, is that whatever content that would be shown to that little boy or girl will be assumed the boy or girl is over 18 years. So the algorithms of the device won't mind being able to pop or advertise, adult content to that kid. But if you had restricted the account, to an under 13, all right, there's no way, in most cases, I'm being careful, there's no way in most cases where that kid would actually receive, content that are appropriate to us. We have cyber predictors where people would lure or explore young people to be able to have them do what it is they want them to be able to have them do, or be able to visit them or see them when their parents is not around. Top of it, which is cyberbullying, where a lot of young people and sometimes even adults get harassed online, right? This is really a big topic globally, not only in Ghana, where you might have people posting unsolicited or things that looks embarrassing to that individual, right? That may put the person into shame or the person withdrawing, right? Cyberbullying is not good. If you have a content on somebody which you know, if it was you will not be happy. You do not want to post that on the person to either shame the person or bring the person down, because like I said, anything you post on the internet never forgets. It might come back one day, to either haunt you when you are either seeking a job or a political position or what have you not been. So we go to what are some of the tips, even though some have started coming up in the conversations we are already having, but I'll take a minute. I don't know if there's anything that has already popped out, if
Yes, Malto, we have questions from the first question you asked regarding the URL links that you provided. So 2 people are asking, why is 2 wrong? Can you elaborate further? Madam Florence is asking, she doesn't understand why the font type is the problem. Hello, Malto, please, can you hear me? Hello, Malto, please, can you hear me? Okay. So whilst Malto joins us, please drop your questions in the chat box and then it will address. We've touched on salient topics about how to keep your children safe online, talking about theft online, cyber theft online, talking about all cyberbullying. Have you had any experience with that? You can share your experience in the chat box as well. And then if you have any questions for what Malto has presented so far, you can drop them in the chat box as well, and he will really address them accordingly. Thank you. Right. Okay, so I think that we have more questions in the chat box. I'm just going to the chat box to see what we have here. You can just drop your questions in there and then Malto will address them. Have you had any experience with your children using your phones? Okay, I think we have Malto back on the line. I think there's just one time that, yes, Stephen.
I'm back from the commercial break.
All right, we're glad to have you back. Yes, please, did you catch the question I asked?
No, I did not
Yes.
get the question if you did ask it.
Yes, so the questions are
apologies, the internet script.
Okay, yeah, so the questions are about the URL question that you posed earlier. Madam Florence is asking, she doesn't understand why the font type is the problem. Can you elaborate further?
Just a moment.
Okay.
Okay. So is that the only question so that I could lump all of them up together?
Yes, that's the question we have so far.
Yes, so the URL I display, so I'll just quickly go back to
Yes.
that slide so that if anyone missed that would know what it is we are talking about. So I displayed these 2 URLs, same URL from the same organization, but one is from a hacker, which is the second one, option 2, and the one is the original one. So what hackers now can do is that they are able to manipulate, right, and use a different fonts and just clone the same URL as it is you have, right? Just to be able to either social engineer, bypass the person who is just watching what it is he feels, oh, this is the website of my bank, or this is the website of the account I always log in, right? Why? like I said, Barack Obama's campaign answers as well. You should always stop and look, right? You should not be in a rush to want to click a link that you don't even know the source from where it is coming from. Trust you me, I would not click a link I do not know. If I see an item where I am interested in what it is, I want to be able to find more information, I'll either go into a search engine and then rather search what it is, the topic of the item or the link as it is I see, because most of the time where I see a link that's shared in a group, it may come with a small summary of what the website is about. I'd rather go and search for that link directly myself if I don't have time to inspect the entire URL, right? But for critically, the domain name, right, either before the .com or .org or .com.gg, it is very important, which is this aspect of the website. Right, despite that on a layman, we'll see that, oh, this is just a font change, but it's beyond a font change, right? And these are some of the tricks hackers actually use to get, those people who don't either inspect some of those URLs as it is they want to be able to have you. So it is not a mere change of URL. It is actually a URL that has been prepared by a hacker. Right, that's why I said we have those instances. Back to where as it is we were talking about, as in the tips to keep children safe online. This is information actually sourced from the UNICEF. One of their presentations as it is they did, and it summarized majority of the things as it is I want to be able to talk on today. So I actually just borrowed this slide of their presentation to be able to elaborate more on some of the things as it is they have. So the first thing will be to set up controls, right? So tech fixes to protect your children online. It is very critical. There are about 3 major things as it is every adult. You don't even need to be a parent if you're a guardian that you need to do if you have children around you, right? Or if you have children that uses some sort of device that gets connected on the internet, to be precise. You can actually filter websites or keywords as it is you do not want them to be exposed to, aside blocking either setting up, right? Filtering keywords are actually important. So you can filter words like pornography, you can filter words like sex, you can filter as many words as it is you deem not appropriate for kids to be able to have. You can always go into the settings of a browser that they use, either on a laptop or a computer or that personal device as it is they may have, be it a tablet or a phone, where you can enable the safe search settings, right? Or go to the private settings and actually harden some of those security things that may allow the kids to be exposed to certain sort of informations online. Right, you can do that for games as well, or setting up as it is you want to be able to harvest. It is always important, right, to cover the webcams, especially off laptops. There are now a lot of webcam covers as it is you can actually really have. Why do I say this? We now have the options where a hacker, when he has control of your device, can actually turn on the camera or the mic of the device without your permission, right? So if you notice, majority of the times, people who are a bit more into security or who understand certain basic things about cybersecurity will always have their cameras covered. You probably may have seen somebody putting a sellotape on their webcam, or there are people who even disable the webcam completely. But like I said, we have a lot of webcam covers as it is you can have to be able to cover your webcam on your laptop. If you go to creating health and safety habits online, parents always need to be able to remind their kids what goes online. Like I keep repeating, on the entire day stays online. Parents need to be able to have that conversation with their kid over and over again and let them know that when you delete something online, it's actually not really deleted. All right, whatever is posted online stays online. The internet never forgets. right? It's been said over and over again, but people still take chances, or either it's mere fact that they feel that whatsoever item they delete online. I stand here to disappoint you today. Whatsoever item you've posted ever online is still on the internet. You need to be able to teach your kids on how to protect their personal information and also the personal information of others, and do not share them with any other person online. Students need to understand that sharing some of these videos and pictures sometimes can be unnecessary, right? Because it boils down back to those information to say that the internet is not going to forget. If you watch the first video as it is I played, based on some of those data points that has been generated from the lady that was talking, you realize that despite the fact that it was not her in person, right, her voice has been cloned, her images have been cloned, because they've had digital footprints of her for a very long time, from where she goes to school, the kind of dresses she wears, how she ties her hair or combs her hair. All this information, as little as it is you may seem, right, it affects both the children and also the adults as it is you may have. You should also keep your communication or create a very safe and open communication with your kids, right? Which is also good. Right? Without doing that, there are a lot of things that might be missing, or the kids might actually really be going through, which you might not be able to identify. For instance, when a child is being bullied, or online bullying or cyber bullying, sometimes what happens is that you notice that the kid might be withdrawing or feeling sad at certain moments when others are actually on their devices. They may not longer be interested in wanting to use that device as frequently as they want to be able to have done. If you do not have time, if you do not have that open conversation or communication with your kid or children or any young adults around you, the person might be exposed to certain things and will be unable to tell you. You need to be able to create that trust barrier, or that trust link between both of you, that that child can actually walk to you and tell you anything that actually they may actually really see online. And also, for me today, in the entire research, in coming to have this presentation, there's one thing that's keep coming back in all the documents or the research as these are seen: having parents spend time with their children whilst they are using those devices, right? The world as it is we see, as big as it is we may have it, it is also small. Why I can be here today and be talking to someone in the United States or Russia or anywhere as it is you want to be able to have it. No matter where it is you are in the world, as much as you have internet connection, you are able to connect to any device as it is you want to be able to have it. So spending time with your kids and seeing what it is they are doing online becomes very critical, right? And sometimes after they use those devices, because as much as you may probably be able to create your filters, your blocks or things, the kids nowadays are super smart. They're able to go around some of those little things as it is we may create on the device. You may want to be able to go into those devices, either go to the histories and see some of the things the kids are actually doing, right? In that case, you would have an idea some of the places the kids is actually visiting. We should not use the mobile devices, right, as a sort of, or any electronic device as a sort of putting or shutting up a kid and saying that okay, take the mobile device and do not worry me. The life or the future of your kid can actually be in danger. That kid might actually be exposed to something you may never be expecting him or her to be exposed to. Now, are there any parental tools or monitoring tools that can help parents, adults, guardians to be able to monitor kids? Yes. happy enough, this problem has stayed with us for a very long time. People have been innovative enough to be able to create a lot of platforms and tools that helps parents to be able to monitor or control some of the places or things the young adults actually have access to. I'm going to list just about 3 of them. It's not an exhausted list. You can always do a search online to see some other tools that are available to you. So these tools actually help parents it helps parents in monitoring their online activities, and there are some platforms as well that also can even monitor some of the things they have done offline. That's when they do not have internet. So there is the Kaspersky for kids, there is a Go Studio, there is a Google Family Link. These are 3 of some of the most popular tools that you can use to manage and monitor the activities of your kids on a mobile device. These things actually gives you either from location tracking to screen time to wanting to know what your child is actually really doing or not, because as a parent, as a guardian, you should be interested in what your child is exposed to online. Now that we know about all those threats that can happen, right, when some of those things happen, because they're going to happen anyways, right, it's never going to stop for now. Why we need to be able to have that vigilance eye. That's why we need to be able to continually educate ourselves. Technology is changing super fast, that we need to be able to keep ourselves educated as the time goes. If you find any incidents, there is the authority of cybersecurity where you can actually report any of those things, from even mobile money fraud, where people might use reverse engineering to be able to either talk to people. Classical cases are when sometimes one person wrongfully clicks on a link for a promotion or something, and the person have his or her WhatsApp hacked. What people might do will be that because the contacts have been cloned of all your conversations, what those scammers will do is that they go into your popularity, your groups as it is you may have. If it's a school group, they may find any contact or person in that school group and then reverse engineer some conversations as it is they can have the video. So, oh, like I met you at this conference, or you are my school member from, those are some sort of reverse engineer to play on your psyche. If you are not smart, before you realize, you might fall a victim. There are times we can have like mobile money, scammers using all sorts of ways, either sending you a triggered email, a triggered text to be able to reset your mobile money PIN. Once you attempt doing that, what you do is that they can actually see the digits you have actually punched in, and they can use that to withdraw your money. These are all the channels. I'm happy to say or to know, when the Cybersecurity Authority of Ghana was actually enacted, to be able to carve some of those problems. So if you have any problems, they've made all the channels are available. If you want to be able to use SMS, you can send them an SMS and then they would help you out. You can call them on 292 and you have somebody to talk to. If you feel you're comfortable with email, you can report it at report@csa.gov.gh, and then you have somebody telling you. You can also go to their website if you want to be able to see some of the things as it is they are doing. They have some amount of resources. You can actually follow them to get updated with time. Getting towards the head of my presentation, I would want to leave us with some basic internet rules. Because we do not have so much time today, I'm not going to delve into the demo configurations of how some of those tools can actually work or how you can actually have those installations being done. So today is to have an eye opener on some of the things that are possible. You can always reach out to the corner. We always have people available to be able to assist if you find any difficulty, right? But these are basic rules that all of us, not only the young people, as adults, the young ones, our mothers, our fathers, needs to pay attention to passwords you never want to share, whether it's with your mom or with your, and even if you're in a pressing situation where you have to share your password, ensure that when that process of what it is that is pressing enough for you to share your password is over, you want to be able to reset the password as it is you have. I've had people who, I'm sure there's somebody on this call or this conversation right now who have not reset his or her password in the past one year, if not more. That is scary because every password can actually be hacked, right? Every mobile device, anything that is connected wirelessly can actually be hacked. There are principles to follow in creating a strong password, like trying to have a combination of capital letters, special characters, and then numbers. Do not use your phone numbers, do not use your date of birth, do not use common names. Those are all basic things as it is you want to be able to have. You do not want to continually having your passwords written at either your desk space because you forget. You do not want to have that done. And your identity, your information, be mindful of the information you share online. Do not click links if you're not sure about them. Always inspect the email link or email address that you are receiving before you would share any information as it is you may have them. And one which I do not have here will be to ensure that your devices updated as frequently as possible. The updates that actually come day in, day out is because of some of these threats and how those devices can mitigate them. So if there are updates and you are lacking behind updates, what you're actually doing is that you're actually creating loopholes for hackers to be able to use that as a backdoor to enter that device as it is you have. They may use that to steal your information and be able to use that information to commit crime on your behalf. And once your information has been used to commit any crime, it is your information. You may not have the opportunity to defend yourself because it was your information that was used. Thank you so much. Akwe just means thank you in Ewe. So thank you for your attention. I don't know if there are more questions. That's it is I can have or attempt to answer. So I'm on the digital space at Steve Doc. You can find me on all social media. You can send me an email if you want more information on something you do not understand or we could not answer on the call. The American corner is always there. You can always walk in or call them, and then we'll be at your disposal. And in ending, if you ask me for my last word before you ask me again, or before us to ensure that we are keeping our kids safe online, we need to stay engaged. We have to communicate and set boundaries, which is very critical, where we are showing our kids how to set their own boundaries. Even in our homes, we need to be able to send like screen times and be able to have spaces where they do not or are not allowed to be able to have their or use their devices. That gives you opportunity to be able to connect with those children much more. We need to have what we call cyber hygiene. All right, cyber hygiene will just be in teaching our kids on some of the best practices to protect themselves when they are online. This presentation as it is we've had right now, like we keep saying, is a shared responsibility for all of us, right? We, the adults, we, the parents as well, we need to learn first and foremost how to protect ourselves. And then in an extension, based on some of those informations, we are able to protect the little ones or the young ones who are, should I say, smartly and agilely exploring the digital space as it is evolving. Thank you so much again.
Thank you so much, Stephen. Thank you so much. That's an amazing presentation we've had so far, and we have a lot of excellent questions coming from our viewers. Thank you all for dropping your questions in the chat, but you can keep them coming. Thank you for dropping your contributions as well. They are well received. And so I'm going to start from the top. The first question is from Michael Beckford. He's asking that what do cyber bullies usually want? And then the other question is from Asida Beko. She's asking that how do you put restrictions on your devices?
Okay. Can you make them three so that I'll answer them at once? If there's
Should I mention it one after the other?
No, I was asking if there's a third one so that I'll take them three at a time.
Yes. So there's a third one from Madam Florence. She's asking that children play games like Roblox with comments enabled. How can my children enjoy the games without parents getting worried?
Nice question. So taking it from Madam Florence's section, right? Why in part of the things as it is saying will be that majority of the time, depending on the age of the child, right, or the young one, you do not want to leave them unattended to. Why do I say this? I gave a classical example where one of my uncle's son was exposed to an adult site just through playing games. One, why? Because the account on the device was an adult account, which would belong to the father. And then even though he was playing a kid game, the algorithms, I always say in some of my presentations that our devices or computers are not smart. They only understand some of the things you tell it to do or not do, right? Once you've put in an email credentials that states that I am above 18, 13, right? It means you are an adult. So you can, because there are adults that play kids game, right? So it can expose that kid to whatsoever item as it is you want to be able to have done. But one of the ways as it is you want to be able to put or filter some of those things will be to always use the privacy settings of some of those games. It always gives you the opportunity to limit some of the things that the kid can do or cannot do. On top of that, you can install some of the parental control platforms or applications as it is I have listed, either the Google Family Link or the Kaspersky Kid Save, right? This also gives you extra control on top of the privacy settings that a game may already have or exist, where it controls what it is the kid is able to do or cannot do. There are some of those screen monitoring or control application that can lock if a kid wants to be able to either learn from a particular channel, either a YouTube channel or something, right? It can lock only that YouTube channel to the kid, and the kid can no longer do anything on the screen apart from watching that channel. So the person cannot type, the person cannot respond to anything as it is. The advert will not be displayed to that kid, right? Why we need to be able to explore some of those features. The next one was to, how do you put restrictions? I say it ties into the question Florence was asking, it's just exploring the settings or the privacy settings. And then on top of that, you can actually just install, those additional controls, and then you can have control about them. And the question about what do the cyber bullies want? I wish I could answer that. And people sometimes just enjoy humiliating others for no reason. Some of them is just for the fun of it, just to either shame or embarrass people. There are certain people who are just like that. Certain people are natural bullies, right? And what it is they do in their natural life, they just carry it online. And so if you are not emotionally strong, if you are not taking advice from where it is you want to be able to have them done, you may fall a victim of it. There will not be a clear-cut answer to what specifically online bullies want. but trust you, some of them, or majority of the times, it will only be for the fun aspect of it, right? For the fact that you are mocking at somebody or you are laughing at somebody and the person do not want. We all do it sometimes, right? Where a friend does not want to be called a particular name. We continue repeating the name as frequently as it is. We want to be able to have it repeated just to make the person feel bad. It's the same or similar things as it is you want to be able to have. Some people do it just to, like I said, either in certain cases, a source of revenge, right? Where maybe I had a video about, or with you or about you, and probably because it is something that hurt me so bad, I also want to pay back in that way. I want to expose you to the entire world that, okay, this is not the kind of person as it is you are, but you are capable of doing A or B or Z. So about the interest of why people do cyberbullying, it's not a clear cut or one answer fit all. People may have different motives from whatsoever reason as it is they want to be able to do or what it is they act on.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Malta. We have so many questions coming in, so I'm just going to mention them and then we can just use like 2 minutes to cover them. So the next question is also from Madam Florence. She's asking that, are they able to buy the domain name? I think it's regarding a follow-up question to the 2 URLs that you shared earlier. And so she's asking that, are they able to buy the domain name? And then this is also from Ibrahim. He's a teacher from Kwabenya Senior High School. He's asking that, what should I do if I accidentally share something private online? And then the next question is from Mr. Yao. He's asking that, please show us how to turn off the restrictions at settings. And then the last question we have here is that, how can I filter certain websites on my phone? So we have like 2 minutes more, roughly like 2 minutes to wrap up this.
Okay, so to be able to filter what it is you are having, one, if you have a router, if you're using a router or MiFi in the house, when you go into the Wi-Fi or the MiFi setting or the router setting, you're able to quickly, filter either website or keywords directly from there without even going into the physical browser of the device. But when you go into the browser, just go into settings, privacy settings, right? You're able to add some of those things. If you are unsure, there's too much information online, just type the question as it is you have asked me into YouTube. You will definitely find a solution to the question as it is you are asking. In the instance of if you accidentally share a sensitive information online, I'm sorry to say you are unable to erase it completely or totally online, why Barack Obama's campaign was stop thing, even before you post or connect anything as it is you want to be able to do. So anytime before you post that item as it is you want to be able to have posted, make sure you are taking a second guess, a second look at whatever item as it is you want to be able to post, because we are seeing that whatever you post, the internet will never forget, right? And the internet can actually punish you terribly or badly for that little mistake of yours as it is you may actually really have. Are the hacker is able to buy those domains as it is you want? What it is you know is that because, okay, I'm going to use a technical term. Pardon me if you do not understand this stage, because we are lacking time. There's a lot of things that happen from clicking the website or URL as it is I give to you before the URL actually really opens, right? There are things that happen at the DNS side, which is the domain name server side. There's a lot of things that have been happening at the SOC side before you even see that website displaying to. We're not going to go into those technicalities. So that domain name as it is you are seeing is just a clone version as it is you probably even have, and then them having it in a text format. So they just want you to be able to click that and then have it redirected to wherever it is they want to be able to have you directed to, because they are not live domain names as it is you see online. But once you click on that link as it is they have given you, they can actually redirect you to either their own site or their server as it is they want to be able to have, and then serve as a middleman, and then use the middleman attack approach to be able to attack or harvest information from whosoever might find himself the victim? On top of my head, those are the questions I remember. I don't know if I missed any.
Yes, we're already on the clock. It's already 11:30, so we have to wrap up. I'm sure that we have to do a part 2 for you to do a demo to really take everyone through the steps or the way we can actually put these settings in place so that people can have a fair idea, or a feel of how it's supposed to be done. Yes, so thank you so much, Mr. Donko, for sharing such valuable expertise with us today. We've learned a lot, and we thank everyone who joined us today for this critical session on cybersecurity for parents and children. We covered essential strategies to protect our families in this digital age. And so we encourage that all of you can take what we have learned today. The video is still going to be on the US Embassy YouTube channel. So you can go back and replay it and pick all the tips that he mentioned and implement them. And the safety of our children online is a responsibility for all of us. And so together we can make a significant difference. So this program is proudly brought to you by the US Embassy Ghana, American Corner Abuba, in partnership with Mobile Web Ghana. And that concludes our program. Please follow us on YouTube, US Embassy Ghana YouTube channel for more amazing virtual programs. Thank you all for joining us today and have a happy weekend ahead. Bye.
Bye.